I guess my love for the beats and for the super producers and how everything was made for me. It was just the creativity that came from this era, I think, was unmatched.
Down the Rabbit Hole podcast, take 10.
We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back after 3 months hiatus, man.
I love the hiatus.
Man, I just got burnt out. What about you?
Well, I had some medical problems.
Yeah.
It's how it is. Sometimes you just gotta take some time off.
Look, we're back. I'm gonna figure out how to get. I'm gonna get motivated at the back end of this year. Get more podcasts. Get more content going on. Got a lot of vlogs.
Get the gear going, mate. You just like you haven't used it for a while.
Gotta get on the gear. Okay.
Crying for help.
Crying for this. Look at this.
For it to be used, man. I'm loving the mustache, by the way.
Loving the porn stash.
Yeah,
everyone loves it. I'm telling you.
It's suiting you actually. It's very Mexican.
It's very like I'm getting to my taco making roots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, look, we've got a really fun concept today. Today's a bit of a fun episode, just getting us back into the groove of things. We've actually recorded an episode like this before, and lo and behold, the sound didn't come through. And I'm checking.
Well, that was the first time using the Roadcaster, so we were still just getting used to
bumbling our way through. Yeah. But anyway, look, we're going to share you through our top 5 songs of the 2000s to 2010s, which is a tall order to ask to condense all like your best songs, pick 5 songs in that decade, effectively.
What an era! I mean, this era was top of the top in terms of music of quality. I've always just thought about it recently as well, like because a lot of the time, like a lot of people from our age, they look back at that with like rose tinted glasses and. Is it bigger than? Is it just nostalgia, right?
Yep.
Or was there something great in that era? And I'm here believing that there was something great.
I think, no, you're right. I mean, we'll talk about why we like these songs and why we pick these songs, but I think you're great. Just to give you a bit of context, so Sumeet and I met during high school. We instantly clicked over the genre of music, and the genre of music you will find that a lot of our songs, if not all of them, are in 90s hip hop, R&B. To which that was the golden decade, 90s and early 2000s, right? Yeah. Like early to mid, whatever you want to call 2010. Yeah. So look, let's get into it. But before we get into it, here are the rules of the game. We're going to talk about our top 5 songs and then our 3 notable mentions that didn't make the cut. But again, before we do it, how would you describe your taste in like what would you say? Because I've got a categorization of like what I like listening to. Do you like the fast, like what sort of stuff?
During that era, like, I was very much into like the hip hop of it all.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe because, just how I am by nature, I'm very like creative and I always looked into music as well. I was more into the producers of the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of my list reflects that.
I'm really keen to see a list because we have a lot of intersections of songs that we like, but you've claimed that we're not going to have the same one.
It does sort of, there's cross-pollination of our songs that we do like, but my logic for my list, a lot of it comes from the fact I'm a massive fan of the super producers of that era.
And that was the era for super producers.
That was the.
So if you don't have Timbaland, they'll be very
the Timbalands, the Dre, Dr. Dre, Pharrell. They were just popping off, and it was another level of music because of those guys. Like they really. I reckon they were iconic. The beats were iconic in that era. That really made that era for me.
Yeah, it was and so we're close to our
because like stars you can get here. Like, I mean, there's a big sort of cycle of stars that come through the business and go out, but that era it was defined by these super producers trying to outdo each other.
Yeah. So for me, in terms of like my thought process of how I picked it, look, I've always been a slow jams guy. That's always has been me. I've liked the melodic. I've loved the rhythm in rhythm and blues. Like I've always liked that. And I think just to contextualize it, Sumeet and I are Gen Y, which means that a lot of these songs, how I view it rather, they were the soundtrack of our childhood and our soundtrack of that period of when we were, in high school, which is, a lot of high school stuff, your romances, all that sort of, no, it is. I view it as the soundtrack to my high school. And that was very vividly that. Anyway, so look, let's start with you, mate. Give me your number 1, a notable mention that did not make the list.
Okay, so there's 3 of these honorable mentions.
Okay, so just do one at a time.
I'll do the first one.
Yeah.
So for me, the first one is "Stand Up" by Ludacris.
Stand up.
Now, again, Luda to me was on fire in this era. He like the songs that he was making. They were just so different to anything else that had come before it. Straight away, you can tell with the Luda song, you can tell that's a Luda song straight away.
I move, you
the beat, his flow, his melody, like everything about him. A lot of the beats, a lot of times was from Timbaland as well. Like what Luda did, collaborate with Timbaland a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luda, man. Shout out DTP, man. What's up?
I don't have a single Ludacris song, but yes, I do. Do you remember the video clip of it too?
That's the thing. The big
watching
hand.
video clip, the hair, the aesthetic.
Like, that's sort of the stuff that plays, like the creativeness.
That's the nostalgia in it.
The creativeness of it, like just like what is he doing in that video? I have no idea. He's got this massive hand, like he's just sort of going around, like it's just.
That was great.
That was one of the great songs.
Ludacris
Stand Up, and I vividly remember even back in the day. Remember when we had like the Nokia phones, and then you had to look on the internet what was the code to get your ringtone. The ringtone. And Stand Up was my first ringtone.
Really?
It was 100%.
Polyphonic ringtones.
Polyphonic
Remember
ringtones.
when that was a thing? I just care about Snake.
Yeah, like
Snake.
Gen Z had no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But like, yeah.
Shit, we're already starting show. Okay. So look, my number 1, I had to get Nelly in, and Nelly isn't even in my top 5, so it's got to be hot in here. Come on, when that is like your quintessential clubbing, like even when you're like getting ready, it's like it's getting hot. Oh,
and again, what a beat from Pharrell!
What a beat!
It's just insane,
dude. That song now stands the test of time. Like Nelly country grammar, like that. Like to be honest, I loved a lot of songs in that album.
Yeah.
But this is a classic.
Well, when Nelly came onto the scene, EI, country grammar.
EI, man.
He just burst onto the scene, right?
Yeah.
And you're right, that album had just banger after banger after banger. And it was just like Hot in Here was the accumulation of all his hits.
The bit.
He was on a roll like no other.
It was that iconic. It's just that beginning, you know what I mean? When you hear that beginning, remember the Crush School Discos, man? when you hear like it's starting, and you're like, you're getting genius. I know this song, man. This is my jam.
Well, since they started, right? But then when the beat just kicks off, mate.
That's what they're missing now. It's just, I mean, it's not the same.
Well, that's the thing. If you look at a lot of the music now, a lot of them are using those beats from back then. It's true. Like they're rapping over it, and a lot of the Gen Z don't know that there was like that's an old beat.
that's prime Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, but
I love in hip hop, Helly.
What a song!
Great song. All right, what you got? What's your next one?
And this is very close to being my top 5, but just missed out.
Shit.
Honorable mention is "Get Low" by Sir Little John. Now, what a song! Now,
Little John had to be in the.
This to me defined an era in hip hop where like it was the evolution of hip hop was going, and then here comes Little John with this crunk sound, which was just. I mean, it started with yeah. We started with this, and then with yeah, and then like it just his style of the beats that were being produced by him. The basses were unlike anything else. The 808s, they were just, mate. We used to like start earthquakes with this. Like,
remember back in the day when like having subwoofers? Oh my god,
subwoofers in the car. Lame. This was the reason why they sold the subwoofers. It was this song,
dude. Like I don't have a. This is tough. Like when you have to condense it to 5. So you'll see my notable mentions. I don't have any of the same artists up there apart from one, which is like one of my GOAT artists. But Lil Jon, you had to. Great song.
Yeah, I mean, great song, and it started an era, I reckon.
I remember hearing the song Need for Speed. You remember?
Yes. Need for Speed Underground.
Need for Speed Underground.
Became iconic with that as well.
Dude, actually, during that time, I have one song here, which is pretty obtuse, but you'll know it, is from video games and the nostalgia from playing video games.
That's the thing. Everything about that era, like the music, it just permeated through everything.
Soundtrack,
games, TV shows, movies. Like it was all just encapsulated. It was just so great, I reckon that. Because like the music that you would hear, like the things that you get influenced from, would come from all these movies.
That's true.
And games and
That's true.
Like it's just it was incredible to me. And Get Low, what a song!
What a song! What a song! Okay, look, top 5 didn't make the list. Honorable mention. I had to have an Usher song. I don't have an Usher song in my top 5, and it's not It's My Boo. It's My Boo with Alicia Keys. Listen, I'm a slow jazz guy. That was huge. That was a huge song.
That was a huge song.
That was a huge song. Are you kidding me?
It was massive. The girls loved it, so you loved it.
The
as well.
guys liked it, all right. The guy, I'm sensitive, man. I'm sensitive. I'm
I thought you were
Scorpio, man.
I thought I was so sure.
I know you want to, See,
no. I thought you were gonna say You Got It Bad.
oh man,
I thought that was a massive song as well.
Look, that Usher period, I think you can do it. We can redo this time period and just say pick R&B only, which is worthy on its own because there was so many good R&B songs.
Usher would dominate that period.
Yeah. Oh my god. But
100%.
look, you got to know that Alicia Keys was at her power during this time too. Yeah. So this is a power duet in the biggest, its truest form, right? Like when these two guys did it. They were. What year was My Boo?
This song I remember broke a lot of records.
It was huge.
It was massive
because releases 2004 and Diary of Alicia Keys and Confession. So these are two of the biggest albums of all time for R&B. So like, I don't think it can be understated. And like, if you had any level of a high school romance or anything like that, it was a soundtrack. Look, I had to put it there. I had to put it there because my girl Alicia, she had to be in there. Just gonna say that.
Girl Alicia,
man.
So
get a brother up. No, just joking. Just joking.
Oh shoot.
What you got?
So from that really romantic song, we go to another romantic song.
Oh, here we go. It must be.
So this just missed my top 5. Light Your Ass on Fire.
What was that?
Busta Rhymes and Pharrell with the beat. Look,
bro, only Busta Rhymes.
This is such a left field
song. It is left field, mate.
And it probably, like, for a lot of people doesn't fit.
I can't remember. What does it go like?
So like this is honorable mention. Yeah. So, but I don't know if you remember this. I was a massive Pharrell fan.
Oh yeah. I'm actually shocked that I don't have a Pharrell. I mean, I've got.
I was just like. I was more sort of a fan of Pharrell, the producer.
Yeah.
The beats that he was making.
Oh,
for me, like Timbaland's great, Dre's great, but Pharrell was just making like things that just like stood the test.
Very unique sounds.
Very unique, completely different to anything. And that's why a lot of artists like they would go to Pharrell looking for something just completely unique because that era was a lot of artists were just trying to outdo each other creatively, right?
Yeah.
And Pharrell is the best at that. And to me, like this song is nuts. And this is why I have it here because like it's just crazy. The beats out of this world doesn't sound like anything else. And we got Busta on. There couldn't be anyone else other than Busta on this song, I reckon. They wouldn't do it justice.
Busta, man.
Busta is just I don't know he's just going crazy in the video as well. Like I love this.
So here's the thing. We've got like multiple artists and I think that's like, I mean, every decade, every period of music has like obviously a lot of different artists that encompass it. But I think the depth and the quality of depth, if you do like we're going to do a power rankings on this.
Yeah.
That period, like these are like legit superstars, right?
Well,
like,
this is an interesting period, right? So gangster rap has sort of fallen like down the wayside.
Which we need to talk about that period, but yeah.
But it, like during the late 90s, Dr. Dre nearly went broke.
Yeah.
This is this has been told like numerous times. And he was trying to do that same like early 90s style NWA, all that sort of stuff. And that had just not worked. It changed.
It wasn't,
The industry moved beyond that, right? So it forced a lot of these guys, like a lot of these producers and a lot of these artists to innovate.
Yeah.
And that's how we got people like Eminem. And that's how we got people like Pharrell. That's how we got people like Busta Rhymes. Because they were just completely different. And this is what encapsulated this era was they were so creatively different that at one point they were trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
And to be the number one guy, right?
At
the top. And because of that, it just sort of became this magnet. The industry became this magnet for all these really creative people to come and just try to be a part of it and outdo each other. Yeah. And that's why you got the depth. That's why you've got like depth so many people, the depth of artists. the depth of talent, it was just insane at that point.
I think also when I really think about that time, like you said, the gangster rap was its whole time, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it's still, these are all American artists, right?
Yeah.
Actually, have we got a non-American artist here? No, probably not. But what I'm saying is like, when we think about it, it was the production, it was the musicality of it. It's not that I remember amazing like lyrics. I don't. I actually don't. But like, I think, yeah, these sounds were so different.
Yeah,
and they were very...
The sonics of the sound
it was
just something else.
It was very distinctive.
The mastering of the sound, the mastering of the beats, they were just... they were like never experienced, right?
Definitely.
And like, you know, we've heard like on documentaries, Jimmy Iovine even talk about like when he first heard Dre. Like it was just unlike anything he's ever heard.
Yeah.
And he's had a storied career with like, you know, rock stars and all that sort of stuff. And he heard Dre's sort of mastering and audio, and it was just like, this is unlike anything else. And that's what was happening throughout this era. Like these super producers were just going nuts.
Good song. Good song. All right. So rounding up my notable mentions, there's a Kanye song here.
Oh.
It's a Kanye song. Yeah. It's got to be Slow Jams, man.
Of course. I expected this. Twister.
Oh, that was bad.
Kanye.
That's Kanye's.
I remember you singing this in high school, actually.
Slow Jams, man. When Slow Jams starts, it doesn't sound like a 90s song. Well, it kind of does now, if you think about it. But that was Kanye's introduction, right? Like,
yeah. It was
Through the Wire was his introduction, but like this is him going to the next level, breaking through mainstream. This is a mad song, but this song was forever punctuated by the introduction of Twister. That was it. Like to me, like the Kanye bit was good, but when you hear Twister's bit, it's like, who is this guy?
What an artist, Twister. We haven't heard like much.
Overnight celebrity.
He was very much encapsulated in that era.
Yeah,
he didn't go beyond that.
It was for like a brief period of songs, but
he was like really like the way he was rapping was.
Oh, it was great.
Treading on some shoes, maybe Buster's shoes, right?
It was great. I remember.
He was just so good.
Great song. Okay, now's the time. Top 5. Okay. Is yours in order of preference? Because I couldn't quite nail that. So mine's is my number 1 is definitely my number 1, but I wouldn't say it's. Is yours in order? Yours in order? All right, go on.
Okay, so from number 5.
Number 5.
And this, I guess, started my obsession with Pharrell. Rockstar. Any idea?
Oh, yeah.
What a song.
But which one? The original or the faster one? Because there's different versions of it. Is there not? No, you had the original. Right?
I like
which is a little bit slower,
right?
A
little bit. That's sort of just me. I don't like when they try to fasten up songs.
Yeah.
But I like the original. It's just the guitar riffs and mate. This is what an intro to Pharrell and NERD as well. This is someone who successfully merged rock and rap, and he's just made it cool. This whole video is cool. All the cameos in the video. It's just something I think of its time as well, right? Very much of that early 2000s, and I don't know, there's just something very rebellious about this song. It really gets you, just like even if you're going to the gym, even like if it just really gets you in that focus, but like for me, it's just there's this angst in this song as well a little bit. Yeah, that's what I like.
I liked it. I do like the faster one, but I think. The mastery of Pharrell is in full effect. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't have Frontin'. But like again, like that wasn't a good song too. But like again, when you think of these songs, they have very how they say every pop record on radio you can play with like 5 chords, like the GC, like all that. You can't do that with Pharrell's songs. So it's like he goes out of his way to produce very obtuse sound and like this version, this one, Rockstar, specifically the original version that you talk about, has a very offbeat tempo. It's just very hard to explain, right? Like it's unique. It's like commands attention, like
how
sonic
the drums
attention.
Come in, how the guitar riff goes, and then how he starts rapping.
He's definitely like fucking triple. I mean, you can't dance, but like it's triple. Is like generally talented if you think of how.
And this is a really great. Like I mean, lap dance is the intro, right? That's where he got off. But to me, this is like his coming out party, right? This is where he's just like, mate, this is me. It's like the attitude he has in that video. Sick.
Yeah.
It's just sick.
No, good song, good song. All right, my number 5, my top 5 list of 2000 to 2010. You gotta get G Unit there, and for me, it's not even the most well-known G Unit song. This is definitely for me. It's "Wanna Get to Know You." I love that song. I love that song. Honestly, like every time,
a lot of people have slept on that song. That's a banger song.
Yeah, it's a banger of a song, and like there's two reasons. One is like I like the slow jam, so I really like melodic rap. Like, and I think that period was perfect for it. There's maybe a little after that where you had like the Omarions and that kind of took it. Yeah. But like G Unit Stunt 101, all that was hard, yeah?
Yeah.
So when they came with...
That's different.
That's different. But when you went to I Want to Get to Know You, oh man, like I love that video clip. Every time I play, like...
It showed their range, right? And that's what a lot of these artists were trying to do in this era, is to have complete range.
Yeah.
To not be stuck into one style.
Yeah.
Like, we had even Snoop Dogg trying things different with Pharrell.
Yeah.
But "Wanna Get to Know You" is just the ultimate sort of...
It's the ultimate Friday,
Friday drive song for me, man.
Or even if you're having drinks, like if you don't want something too hardcore,
so good.
It's chill. And also, my vivid memory is playing GTA and then driving, like when you finish a mission, and it's like Miami Vice on the sunset, and then I Want to Get to Know You, play it, and it's gonna be a good day. I love it. I love it.
A lot of these songs are typed for us.
For me, definitely were. Yeah,
right. Because I remember, was it the Xbox? Where you can load your own music even?
Yeah, I did that on PC. Me, the original GTA.
So good. That was just like
underrated,
awesome.
bro. Underrated.
That's where we loaded all these songs and just like
legally, of course.
legally, yes.
Legally.
Definitely not through Napster, but mate, what a song! Want to Get to Know You.
All right, what's number 4 for you?
Now, number 4 for me. This is, I think, one of the best productions I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake. Now, Timbaland absolutely cooked with this beat. This is, I think, close to, Timbaland's best beat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is like looking at Timbaland's whole...
I don't know. No.
But it's very... Dude, this song...
Yeah, it was great.
This song was crazy back in the day.
It's good. Was this JT's first song? Like one of his first singles? After
no. It was his first album, I believe. His first
Justified,
solo album.
Right?
Justified.
I love that. That whole album is actually an underrated album in totality.
But it's just this song, and obviously the video, all the stuff about Britney and Little Imprinces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just I can't get over the beat, and I still play the beat to this song.
Really?
It's just I love this beat, and obviously JT kills it.
Song was hot.
JT kills it with the singing on this. But for me, that beat is just, I think, one of my top beats.
Like I Love You was the first one.
Yeah. Like
that's also
very good. Man. He came out strong, man.
Oh man, I remember
that album had "Like I Love You,"
"Senorita," "Rock Your Body,"
"Rock Your Body."
Should do a 90s
"Cry
party,
Me a
bro.
River."
That's a power album, man.
Dude,
hey, I'm gonna put
JT went solo. Dude, he really went he's I don't know whose agents were at the time or how he got these producers, but man,
it
was
powerful
the best
album.
debut album I've seen.
That's up there. We need to do another one about like best debut albums because that's if you
that's got to be up
1,
there
2, 3. If you have 5 like platinum singles,
that's massive.
That's pretty up there. But I think no. Good song. I like it.
I love it. And
I like it.
It to me
shows your range too.
And hey man, I got we a little bit of an RnB song in there.
Listen to my voice. I'm sensitive.
RnB pop actually.
I went New York. I'm sensitive.
But mate, dude, that
was good.
Love that song.
I like that song. I did like that song. The start was like what are we listening to?
Yeah, what are we listening?
I'm not into opera.
The rain and it's just another level.
It's a theater. I like it.
It's theater.
All right, number 4. This song to me has like a sentimental value of you and I's friendship. I don't know if you remember, but I remember. We were outside Mrs. Donnelly's class. You don't remember. This is how specific I can get. And my memory is really good. So Miss Donnelly is business. Yes. And you remember I was on top of the trends, right? So I had a creative, you remember Creative Muvo?
Yes.
So that's, for those who don't even know, Gen Zs, that's the first iPod. Creative created the MP3 players. Before that, Apple just made it better, right? So I had this. You had to load manually all these damn songs and you had to go through subroutes. And I had legally obtained this single from this new artist. And his name was Chris Brown, right?
Oh,
you remember that? And I'm like, bro,
I remember this.
You need to listen to this shit. I know. Stop faffing around, man. You need to listen to this shit because this shit's hot. And this guy's going to make... You remember when you run it? And I'm like...
Run it. That is wild. I actually remember
You remember that?
I vividly remember this.
I'm telling you.
And I knew where we were. We were on the second level of the balcony outside the class. And you're like, listen to this.
This is forever This is forever one of our memories. And I remember that. That's what I'm saying. Music, that's like it's up.
Yeah,
because you got to understand, that's such a fucking random thing to remember.
It is.
But it's so specific. Is because when you hear Run It, the first time you heard Run It, you're like, this is, bro, you're going to dance to this song 100 times in your lifetime because it just felt big,
And it
right?
was the intro for me to Chris Brown.
It is the intro.
What an artist. Chris Brown, just completely insane at that time. And we're talking about debuts. Chris Brown had probably one of the best debuts.
Chris Brown was the biggest thing during that time.
It was
huge,
huge. That is nuts. That I can remember. I'm getting goosebumps. I can remember where
specific.
I was.
No, it was business studies.
Right outside near the balcony, area, the second floor. I remember that.
Yeah,
holy shit, that's nuts.
Run It. Every school disco had to have Run It was like, you know what I mean? It got overplayed after a while and you're like, I'm over it. But man, when you heard it, like there's no stronger impact you can get and that's his first single, right? Was it?
First single.
Yeah. Yo, excuse me, miss. No, it's his first. I'm pretty sure Run It is his first.
It might be, yeah.
And it just blew. Like you had people dancing to it. It's just... it was a vibe.
What a run Chris Brown went on.
It was huge.
After that, right?
Chris Brown was ushered.
There was Excuse Me Miss, yo, and
huge. Kiss
Kiss, T-Pain.
All of it. Yeah. Look, I had T-Pain. I had Sprung in my notable, and I had to kick it out. But like T-Pain was like auto-tune. Like that's a
shout out T-Pain, man. He is killing it on streaming right now.
Is he?
I think so.
He's trying to. The evolution of T-Pain is now he's doing it without autotune, right?
Yeah.
He's got an okay voice. It's okay.
Yeah,
like
it's still good. NPR, whatever, said Tiny Desk.
Yeah, I like it.
Dude, he can sing, man. It's sick. Like, he didn't need autotune. That was a creative device for him.
He needs autotune. Just joking, right? You know, I like it, T-Pain, man. I like dreads, bro.
But man, that's wild. I remember that.
Run it.
That is wild.
Run it. All right, what you got? What's number 3?
Okay, my number 3. And look, dude, this... maybe what is the biggest, like for me it's my number 3 because this is just how I placed it. But this has got to be the biggest song of this generation in the club.
Oh, what? 50 Cent. Oh yeah. Now, see, I had that. I took it out because I knew it was going to be the same. But yeah.
But like for me, like Dre just cooks on this beat.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of, even I remember like they were beefing with Murder Inc. at the time, right? And there was Irv Gotti and Ja Rule. And I've seen they've done a podcast where they go, as soon as we heard like the first 10 seconds of that beat, and Irv Gotti was like, yep, we're done.
Oh,
like, how can we compete with this?
It was
like,
huge.
That beat, and like 50 Cent at that time.
50 Cent was also fucking on. Like,
man, he was, and like we're talking about, again, debut albums. Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm sorry, but that's got to be... Wow. That's got to be placed in the Hall of Fame of that era, right? Get Rich or Die Trying.
Do you remember like the album art? Even that, how cool it looked. Like
very much of that. Very much the bullet and the broken glass. And man,
that was.
But in the club, like it was club, just. Man. Like this is how you debut
in the club, dude. Like I remember seeing some of the stream numbers on this thing. It was astronomical.
And like back then, like stream numbers, all right. But I remember back then, right? Our sort of gauge was video hits. And rage,
yeah.
And this was number 1
in the club
forever.
In the club, for, like on YouTube, from 50 Cent's official thing, and it's 15 years old. Granted, 2.1 billion views. You know how hard it is to get billion? Like I've seen millions, I've seen 100 million, but to get billion is like it's
a cross-generational song.
Yeah,
that's the thing of it, right? Yeah. And it really made clubs during that era.
But okay. So if you think about like the songs that we're saying, this era, and it's probably like goes 10 years back as well. Before that is the clubbing era, right? The
Yeah,
era that you'd pay money to line up to dance to these songs, and you could do it at home if you had to.
What a weird thing clubbing was.
It was a weird. It's a weird. I mean, to each your own, mate. We did it, but yeah, like they were created for it. Like because these are the songs that you want to. I want to dance to Run It. Like we don't have. I don't know if you have but like what I mean is like they were very dance. It's almost like that poppy R&B hip hop, but it wasn't at the same time. It wasn't poppy, but it had that commercial edge to the sound sonically. Yeah. It was just so,
To me, it's the 808s that make all of these songs. That's what makes them club songs, right? And Dre was cooking with this 808 on this one. The bass is fucking insane on this. Baby. And, 50s flow. And it's just like, it's just gone crazy.
Bro. Okay. All right. So you've made me change.
What have I done?
I just changed dynamically because how can you not have one 50 Cent song in I mean, I do technically.
You're not being honest if you don't, right? Because that era was defined a lot by 50.
But my 50 Cent song is PIM. Really? Yeah, man.
Not 21 Questions. I thought you were done 21 Questions.
I did like it, bro. I love the whole album. I love. You know what? My auntie calls me window shopper because she remembers me singing it. So I love a lot of it. But how iconic is the PIMP video clip?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you see that old classic white iPod?
Yeah.
Dude.
I think I got an iPod because of that.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. PIMP and that Snoop verse.
Oh.
FIFT. Oh, man.
This is where Snoop was having just
reggaeton.
An awesome time with his career, right? Drop It Like It's Hot. All the stuff with Pharrell, like he was just on something else creatively, right?
Yeah.
And mate, PIMP, perfect collaboration.
I don't care what people say. When you see the video clip and isn't this white suit and all that, it's baller, man.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like you gotta look at the production.
Man, I even like Candy Shop, man.
All right, now you're pushing it.
I don't know what's the issue with Candy Shop, man. But like, going to Krispy Kremes.
But you got to look at like this era, the production levels of the music video.
So different. Yeah, the music videos.
Dude, the budget.
Music videos now are so boring, honestly.
Well, that's the thing, right? Boring. Because back then you used to get millions and millions for the budget for the music videos, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just like, you've got to work with what you got, and because record labels aren't going to give you that much anymore. No. You got to be creative yourself and have a vision for it. But man, this like
PIMP, baby.
The music.
Remember the Play Haters Ball one? Oh my God. I just love anything with like old school pimps.
That song.
That's a mad song.
Is a memory.
That's a mad song. That's it's a memory. All right. Cat Williams was in that video too.
He was, man. Cat Williams,
brother.
Oh man, Cat. Shout out to Cat.
But you told us about the Diddy shit. Oh shit! All right, go on. What's your number two?
Number two. We're
getting close.
I had to have Eminem on this list.
Yes, yeah.
Because he's very much of this era.
Yeah.
And for me, I guess the song that really defined a lot of this era is Stan. So Stan, Eminem featuring Dido.
Yeah.
And it was again a really great production.
Yep.
But for me, what really because for me, like the song's great and it's very well done. And, obviously it's sampled Dido and like Dido's in the music video as well. So you got her there as well. But because this is actually a sample of a different Dido song. Don't know if you knew that at the time, but for me, the music video is just insane. It's like a movie for me, right? Like it was just shot so.
I actually can't remember. I remember the car bit.
Yeah, but it's just it displays it shows a lot of Eminem actually in this, and because obviously there's like the crazy side of Eminem, with like My Name Is and all that sort of stuff, which he burst onto the scene with, right? But this was Eminem has like these two sides. He has the crazy side, and he has this really sort of emotional side to him as well. Like he's really like very serious, and he's and this is like sort of he's meshed both of them into this one song.
Yeah.
It's like this crazy fan he talks about, and like the seriousness.
Generally, this is your number 2 song. You like Stan that much?
Yeah, I like this song. I like it because it showcases Eminem's all of his depth, all of his range. And look, there are other banger songs I love. Like for me, I remember in high school rapping to Superman.
Oh, no. I can't believe
Recess. I remember Recess.
Yeah,
I knew the lyrics to every single like word of Superman.
Oh, Eminem,
Without Me, all that sort of stuff. That era was crazy.
This is a thing.
Stan for me is, and this, I remember this song being number 1 on video hits for a long time, like ages. And it's the best of Eminem.
Oh yeah. Like this song is like one of those songs where you have to. Yeah, I know you like the video clip, but I love listening to it because it's like poetry. Because the way he enunciates his voice and goes, like, it's actually like, that's like triple threat within music. Like, you have someone that's orating, rapping, singing. Like, it's a very creative song.
I think he's narrating it from his point of view, but then he's also acting like.
But just think about like. How do you even think of that? Yeah, it's just fucking random. It's really random.
That's why it's one of his best songs because of the genius of that.
I agree.
How do you think that, right? How do you come up with that bullshit? I agree. That's insane to me.
I agree. All right, so my number 2. Here at NYC, we ain't nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits. Nothing but the motherfucking hits. You don't remember that? Ja Rule, man, always on time.
You just said, this is sacrilege. You said 50 Cent and then a Ja Rule on top of him. Man, 50 not gonna like that.
People act all hard, They were all listening to Ja Rule back in
They were before 50. They were. Like 100% were. But
everyone's favorite microwave. And you know what? He got the girl. He's married to his Shanti now.
He got it, man. Like he got the girl. Yeah, man.
You're still shocked.
I'm still shocked. Ja Rule's number 2. What the freaking hell, man? Okay, always on time, great, but maybe number 5. But number 2, that's really high, man.
Yeah, look, it is high. Somebody is fucking up for me, but yeah, look, I think that's why, like, for the music stuff, it's specific for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I love RnB. I love like the slow jazz. And
Ja Rule had a lot of with Ashanti. That's the thing, right?
He probably has like the record for doing the most like his things with the same person. Which is all Ashanti.
It is all Ashanti, actually. That's real right.
Ashanti was huge.
She was huge back in the day as well. I remember that. And yeah, I mean, like Ashanti. Was Ashanti more 90s? Like in her debut?
Yeah, I think so. But she was there.
Yeah, she was there.
All the time.
Yeah.
The fact that they're together is not
yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I mean, Ashanti was beautiful. Like a beautiful woman. And like Ja's Ja. Like, great. Great stuff. Like, Thug Lovin', but like he's a little bit of a short king, isn't he?
What you trying to say, right?
A little bit. I don't know. Look, I got nothing against Ja. Sorry.
Got everything against Ja, man.
Nah, man. Like, look, man. Ja had his time, and that was the time where he was up there with like there was a reason why 50 Cent and him were beefing, right? Because 50 was coming up. Ja at the time had a lot of hits.
I think Ja is a poster boy for that.
50 was coming for that number 1 spot, man.
Crooner rap RnB kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crooner is the word. Like
that's an interesting way to describe it.
But it is, right? Like
that's what it is, though.
That's what always on time
crooner
is.
Rap.
Crooner rap. Fucking weird. But he had that niche. I love Thug Lovin' too, man. No, you're getting dark. Jamming with
Thug Lovin'.
Thug Lovin', right? Nah, I like Ja, man.
Nah, Ja's good. Like Ja had his time.
But you're right. Maybe number 2. Maybe
two's a bit high.
Maybe I'm sipping some cognac.
I'm just saying, two's a little bit high. A little bit high for me.
All right, what's your number 1, bro?
Right, my number 1.
You're playing games, bro.
And this will always stay as my number 1.
Oh shit.
Mainly because of the vivid memory that I have when this was my first single I've ever bought.
Oh shit. Which
at
is
the time. And
okay, before you say, you know what my first CD was?
What?
Craig David, bro.
Yes, I think I remember you saying that to me actually.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
For me,
hijack.
the first single I ever bought, the first CD I ever bought.
You bought a single. You didn't even buy an album.
Yeah,
what sort of Indian are you? That's not.
No, because like
expensive.
at the time, bro, like this just, I could not get this out of my head.
Okay.
I still cannot. And for me, Get Your Freak On, Missy Elliott.
Oh, I knew. Actually, no,
For
I
me,
didn't know
because
that.
it's the memories I have with that song.
You just
right?
like it because it's got an Indian intro, bro.
Nah, dude, the beat, bro.
good.
Timberland is cooking.
This is number one for you.
This is number one for me. And it's like, this is why I said like my logic is different to a lot of other logic. And this is my personal taste, man. This is my personal list.
yeah.
For me, it's the, you know, as you
Elliott,
said,
bro.
like when I first heard this, unlike anything else
Yeah.
out there, the Indian, yes, the shout out to the Indian beat there, but like it's
Timberland
just,
beat, bro.
He's just cooking on this, and Timberland, man, he did have a lot of Indian sounding beats, but this is
I think he actually
best one.
pioneered it. Like,
he pioneered that sort of style. But this was just on another level, man. Like this is like, to me, the way he layered this song, the way that the chords and everything just comes together in a really good way. And it's just, man, Missy, for me, it was, I mean, look, for me, Missy is one of the top artists. I love all of her songs at the time. And yeah, a lot of people didn't understand why I liked Missy at the time. They're like, well, why her? But like for me,
but this song is
the creativity that Missy brought to hip hop.
yeah.
I think sort of fueled a lot of this era as well of hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, Missy
The
Elliott
her music videos are out there. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was a bit of Alice in Wonderland
Remember
shit.
that music video for She's a B? that was
Missy Elliott, bro.
that was out there, but this was even more out there with the spitting in the mouth and all that. Like,
Hey man, Missy Elliott, For My People.
oh
One of those dance remixes.
yeah, this is for my people. But man, dude, Get Your Freak On for
Dicey
me.
stories and
Get Your Freak On. It just,
lose control.
it started my love affair with hip hop. Get Your Freak On.
Really?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Wow.
like what? Like it started my obsession with hip hop.
Yeah, right.
Right, and the beats, and like more into going down onto the beats and down that rabbit hole for me at that age, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, who made this? What is this? Like, what? How do they make this? Like, oh my god, like they make it like this? Like this is how they've made. And to me, that just started my fascination. It started my creativity. Like for me, it was just, this is pivotal for me at that age.
Yeah.
And that's why it was the first CD I've ever bought.
Really?
And yeah, I love this song, and it will always be with me. And I'll probably have this buried with me, with like the single, just like
Freak
just
on.
put it on a CD and somehow buy it somehow and
Holla.
Put
No,
it in
it
my,
was a great song. It
coffin,
was a great
man.
song. Again, all these songs are just such mad like songs to like dance to, like jamming songs.
And Get Your Freak On was a banger in the club as well. It was just they still play it, and it recently got like sampled in by an artist as well. I forgot his name.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah, they used the beat. That's what's happening a lot. Like all these crazy ass beats.
Bro,
love
generally,
these,
I'm into
artists.
country now, bro. I don't listen to that
Well, we're gonna talk about it after. But
shit. Gone full through. I
man,
can't
Get Your
listen.
Freak On.
I can't listen to any of this shit anymore. No, with the new stuff. Yeah, no.
Get Your Freak On for me, number one all time.
So good.
It started my obsession with hip hop, and man, that's what it was for me.
No, so good. So good. All right, my number one. You know my number one, man. You know my number one.
I think I do.
You know my number one.
Yeah,
You know it's got to be Kanye.
yeah.
You know it's got to be Flashing Lights. Flashing Lights, man. Flashing Light. Graduation was such a good album.
This is such a song.
It's such
I
a
love this
song. Flashing Lights is like, and that's what I said. Like, for us, it's so different, right? Like these Flashing Lights is not a big song by virtue of like. In fact, all the songs prior to that are bigger songs by virtue of streams. But for me, it's like. It's such a unique sound, like with the synths and all. It's such a mood. It was such a moody song as well. Can't remember
And this,
why, but like
this was on my list,
Yeah.
but I had to take it out.
Yeah.
I love this song on both lists, honorable mentions. But like, for me, Flashing Lights was, you're right, a mood. There's an ambience to it. But to me, it's also like, this is Kanye, right? Like this.
Yeah.
This is the first sort of inkling of like, whoa, what is this? Like from Kanye that we're like, this is. Because Slow Jams was great, right? And Through the Wire, like that's very much of that time.
yeah.
But this is like the Kanye that we got for the next decade.
This Kanye,
This is like a glimpse, like, whoa, this is like really dark. There's something really dark to this.
Yeah.
The production is completely different. This is unlike what he's done before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this was a glimpse into the Kanye that we would get for the
what
preceding decade.
Yeah, like let's keep it to Flashing Lights. Yeah, like it's not his biggest song, but every time it gets played in a public terminal, you can see the real. They're like, yes, because you remember it. Yeah. You remember how when you first had Flashing Lights, you're like, what? You didn't know it was Kanye because it didn't sound like something that a rapper would do. And then it came in, and you're right, like his delivery isn't aggressive and something like that. And this is one of his. It had like 4 video clips. Remember, like it was such an artistic song.
The one I remember was the. It was just all slow mo.
Yeah, the big booty chick. We get it. You creep. You're a creep. You're a thirsty dude, and you're a creep.
The big booty chick. She puts Kanye, or she opens the boot.
You're a creep.
Opens the boot of the car, and like he's tied up there. Man, what a video!
Again, like I mean, it was so hard to do this because we.
What were the other ones? I forgot.
What do you mean?
Other music videos of this?
The vague one that I remember was the horror show one. You remember the horror show one? And then there was one. It was very Weekend-esque where it was not Kanye. It was just a girl, like smoking black and white. You remember that one? The concept one. Yeah. There was another. I can't remember. But just how many video clips do you have, bro? Relax, cuz.
I reckon maybe there was one that crossed the line, which is why he had to do another one.
I think so.
But at that time, maybe he was like,
dude, the one with the chick like killing him did cross the line too. Like there was a lot of complaints on it.
There were complaints on that too. I remember. But this is like the complaints. Everything it added to.
Oh, it was a great.
A lot of our allure to it. We're like, this is so dark. This
it's just that a lot of these songs, like a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
It's that first 10 seconds. It's so captivating. Like Flashing Lights is a movie song
straight away.
Yeah, like the synth, and you know it's being played on a keyboard. Yeah. Like I can see someone turn. Like I can feel it. Sounds so good. And this is the prelude to like 808s and Heartbreak, which I love that album, man.
Very underrated album.
Loved it. Didn't love it the first time, but then I just
that's
loved
a lot of people have that story there.
Didn't love it the first time.
Didn't love it like when we first heard it.
Really loved it.
That's the thing. Like when we first heard it, for me, I was like, this sounds completely different.
Yeah.
Right. And then like some songs were starting to catch on to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is really different and really good, actually.
Yeah.
And that's just like
I think it was of a time.
It was of the time, but it also sort of that style is what Kanye went with for the next decade.
It was.
It was.
It
so
also
that's why it was pivotal.
Probably.
And if you look at those songs, they sound like Flashing Lights a bit, a little bit.
And
that's why I'm saying Flashing Lights was a glimpse to what would come after.
Oh man, so much memories from like the songs in that time, and I think when you look back, I don't have a single Eminem one, which is like a travesty. I had Forget About Dre. Like you can just keep going.
That was another song. I was wanting to put this in my list.
You can just keep going
because Forget About Dre to me has one of the best flows of any rap song.
It was great.
It was just insane.
It was great. There's also like, Superman. Like all of Eminem's discography.
But you know what? Like bringing up all these songs, and especially when you told me about that specific memory at school, I'm starting to remember now where I've heard it. Like where I was when I first heard them.
And I think
that's insane to me. That's blowing my mind. Right now.
That's usually what music does. But I think that's such a vivid time for us, at least specifically. But look, that was our top 5, which I think is a good spectrum. There were more hip hop than R&B, right? In our list.
And look, for me, I love R&B as well, and I could do another top 5 with R&B. Dude, bro. I had JT in there. JT. But look, if we could do another R&B one, I could do that as well, because during that era, R&B was on top. They were firing on all cylinders as well. But for me, this era was defined by, I guess, my love for the beats and for the super producers and how everything was made for me. It was just the creativity that came from this era, I think, is unmatched. And look, a lot of our generation gets accused, right? As I said before, of having rose-colored glasses for this era, having nostalgia, but for me, I've thought about this for a long time, and it's not that. Like yes, there's a lot of nostalgia that we see things differently through, but for me, you're never going to get those producers again, right? Like the era
not
of the
the
super
time, yeah.
producer, you're not going to get that because you look at the landscape right now, you buy beats off YouTube for like $20, right? That's the landscape.
Yeah.
And
It's so different now.
like I don't see the industry pushing super producers like that. Like that was just the product of its time,
Yeah.
right? I don't think that's
It
happening.
was, that's
ever
right.
again.
It was a product of its time, and it was a great time. I can't wait to go back to the 90s because I think that was also a great time. Very different, very unique. But I can't
90s
go-
to me would be completely different.
Oh yeah.
Like if we're just talking general music, because at that age I was too young, I guess, to listen to.
But here's the thing.
to
So
be into hip
I
hop
was
that much.
listening that stuff in the 2000s though.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on
My
you.
90s is completely different, so we could do that as well. But that'll be a completely different.
Anyway, guys, let us know what you think. Did you like some of the song choices that you did? What were you listening in that time? 2000 to 2010? Look, if it's not the same genre, put some comments below. Let us know. Cause
Come at me if you don't like my top 5, man. That's my top 5.
yeah, I mean, what you guys got against Ja Rule, man? Thug loving, man.
That's where I draw the line. Ja's where I draw the line.
Hey, man, you were listening to Mesmerize like the rest of them, all right? I don't give a shit.
Oh, man.
All right, guys, don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you like this sort of content. Leave some comments below, and we'll see you next time.